you, Sophia Soto with the Nerds of Color, and congratulations on season two. I've gotten to see a few episodes and
Oh,
phenomenal performances, which I'm not surprised by.
Thank you. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Yeah.
Of course. Leah, Beth has a moment where she talks about trying to think 6 steps ahead to save Percy. Since you have an idea of where your character goes in future books, how do you personally make sure you're staying present in the scene you're filming with her current storyline to make the human choices instead of thinking 6 steps ahead?
Killer question.
Nice.
Oh my
Damn.
goodness. Okay. Well, I might as well just come out with it now. I think everyone does know this is really funny. But it's funny because
That's
no matter how much I read ahead, it won't stick in my head.
no.
So
I'm the same
so
way. It's
so I have to say it now. I've been trying to act like, oh man, I got this, but it genuinely leaves my head. So what I'm saying is that so so I have to
Okay.
like I'm just you know what I'm saying? So
Just present at all times.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be present because I have no choice. So
best way.
um exactly. So I do know what's ahead, but somehow 5 minutes later it gets erased. But some things stick, some things don't. But what I'm saying is that
That's good.
basically it's not that big of a challenge because I'm kind of figuring out the things as we go.
That was actually a really well thought out answer.
You
That was a great answer.
Because you get to
Like
enjoy all of it.
Yeah,
So many
exactly.
times too.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. You
It
just
really is like every time it's your first time.
Yeah, it's my explanation there.
you did perfectly. Love it. With Grover getting his own adventure this season, what were you able to unlock in him that felt kind of buried or hidden in terms of his season one role?
That's a great question. I think it's easy for his quest for Pan to kind of get I don't know if undermined is really the term I want to use, but it can be very easy to forget that he's on his own quest for Pan, and it can be easy for it to, get neglected simply because he's not on that quest at the moment, like he's not physically out there venturing. And this season he is. And I think, and he has all these like moments that serve as connective tissue between him and this quest and Pan. The golden fleece, all of the like the satyr kind of relics that he encounters in the season, these remnants of Pan. I think it's just incredible that they were able to include all of that. And I don't think this is a spoiler, and I think it's in the trailer, but I get my pan pipes this season.
Yes.
Awesome. And yeah, it's nice to be able to kind of not have to put that to the side. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And Daniel,
Mhm.
obviously, you joining the cast, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Leah and Aryan at the season one junket. What did Tyson represent for you when you first read the books, and how did his meaning to you personally change after bringing him to life?
Oh man. I'm gonna apologize. It's been 16 or 17 years since I think I've read the book the first time.
So
Grew
I
up
have
with books too, so it's
no
been a long
idea.
time.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you at all what my first impression was. All I know is that it resonated enough that when I got the audition, it felt like I was just going back home to a character that I already knew. So like, yeah, I can't answer that. I think but post, I think through the process, it genuinely changed through the season, which I can give you a bit of an answer there, which is nice. Um, but it was, I think, surprising to me how layered the complexity of emotion that we were allowed and able to kind of go into while still maintaining the kind of feeling of Tyson throughout the process. I think I was worried that within the more like action-packed sequences where Tyson has to become more of a protector and a little bit more ferocious, that it would feel like two different characters. And I think that was something that I was really concerned about because I wanted to make sure that this innocence and the purity that he also has is also able to still shine through. And I found that I think we found a really, really good balance where you see these different sides to him without it feeling like it's two separate characters, where it feels like there's a through line throughout the whole season. So by the end, I was just really excited with kind of the overall Tyson that we'd managed to create as a team, and made me really, really excited for kind of everything moving forward. But yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. I'm so excited for everyone to see your performance. And
Thank you.
Ari and Leah, it's such a pleasure to see you both again. Daniel, a pleasure to
Likewise.
meet you. And seriously, congratulations. The fans are going to go crazy for this season.
Thank
Good to
you.
hear.
And
Thank
also
you.
like amazing questions.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Yeah.
I
genuinely.
always tell them
Wow.
this every time I see them. I have to come with the good questions because they always come with the good answers. And I
Yeah.
want to make sure you guys get fresh questions after a
No, we
press.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
So
Always good to
thank
see
you.
you.
So good to see you guys. Thank you. Sophia Soto with the Nerds of Color. Thank you all so much for speaking with me. I got to watch a few episodes and the performances are absolutely incredible.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course. So, Walker, I'd love to start with you. Percy says his track record at surviving impossible odds is pretty good. What is one thing about acting that felt impossible when you first started that playing Percy has helped you achieve?
Oh,
That's a good question.
that's a good question.
I don't think they seemed impossible to me, but it seemed really far away, and I think it came really quickly. Was I didn't think, I've always like, I loved the Avengers, I loved Marvel, I loved like superheroes and stuff like that, and I love those huge fights they do, and I thought, I'd love to do like that's like a dream, but like it's so far away, you know what I mean? I expected it to happen way further in the future, but it kind of just immediately started happening. And I think,
Adam Project.
yeah, the Atom Project was a little bit
You're
of
not
it.
going to
And
remember,
then
but we spoke for that actually.
for the Atom Project,
Yep.
way back in like
Yes.
2022,
Yeah. So it's been amazing seeing all of this.
you were in the junket.
Yes.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how much time has already passed since then. Like it's almost
Yeah.
2026.
It's
That was
nuts.
To think
2022.
We
of
started
like,
filming
it's crazy.
this like season 1 in 2022.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was right
I was
before season one.
17, you were 13
I'm turning the
He's
age he
15.
was.
when we first started.
I mean, you were a little bit older, but
I
like
was a little bit I was like 17 going on 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's weird how much time has passed.
So crazy.
But yeah, I didn't think I'd get to have a lot of fight scenes, but Percy Jackson happened, and then I had a lot of them
Yeah. Yeah.
on
It's
and off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They really get
Mostly
into it.
off screen.
We have to keep
Mostly
them
off.
in separate rooms.
We're behaving
we get
ourselves.
so
Right.
They're
we
both
get so into
really
it.
sensitive
we're-
right
I'm
now.
ready for the rest of
Yeah.
the episodes because
We're
I have a feeling
we're
there's going to be
method.
more.
Yeah, we're method. It's for the show.
Yeah.
It's the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If a fight breaks out in this interview, we still got questions to answer, so we got to fight while we talk. But
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Show must go on. We will.
Charlie, next question is for you. You have the chance to play a younger version of Luke in flashbacks. How valuable is that for you as an actor? And did anything included in those moments, I know you can't spoil anything, obviously, but did anything that you played in those moments change how you approached a future scene or a line?
That's a good question. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it was so great to be able to explore that and actually live in that for a minute because I think, it's one thing to hear about the time with Luke and Thalia and Annabeth on the road, but to actually see it is another thing. Um and it was, yeah, that was really, there's a moment I can't really talk about. I can't say too much about it right now, but to actually have had filmed some of this stuff with particularly T, who plays Thalia, Tamara Smart, um, and have that connection and build that chemistry between Luke and Thalia. There's a moment later on in the season that he kind of has this moment with. I'm not gonna say much. I'm not gonna say much, but it's but yeah, no, it was great to be able to do that, and also just like so fun to work on young Luke. Like I remember during prep or before we started filming all that stuff, Andrew, our acting coach, he like showed up outside my building. It was like meet me downstairs. It was like a Sunday
Ominous text.
at like I don't know like noon or something, and then he just had like a hoodie and like a beanie, and he basically just made me walk around the city in this, and he gave me like $4,
Oh, $4.
like $4, and then like he was like, okay, you got to go get food for Thalia and Annabeth. Remember, there's monsters around. You're looking over your shoulder. So I was like acting
I
as
didn't
young.
know you did
Know
that.
this?
Yeah.
You didn't know he did all this?
Told us.
No.
You did tell me
I
something.
was like,
You didn't tell me this.
and I, I was just, it was more about getting like young Luke's physicality, but I truly, like I went into McDonald's, I was like, what's your cheapest burger, and like,
Wow, Charlie.
I cut it up into 3 slices, Yeah, it was cool. It was a fun experience.
I just think it's impressive how you cut something into three slices. It's hard to imagine
Well,
that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can
yeah.
imagine that
Can't-
it's like,
Well,
It's
I
the
cut the
biggest
biggest one.
for Annabeth.
I cut the biggest half for Annabeth.
And
Yeah,
then
and then me
the
and
two smaller pieces are
I'm just trying to think about how that works.
Well, you split it across
Like a
the middle.
peacetime?
No, no.
If you split it across the middle, it becomes
Well,
what?
I guess no, no. Listen to
it's
me.
like a pie.
This is a circle, and then you cut it across the middle, and then the bottom half you do like.
So
No, but
one
the way I
person gets
cut
a
it was
giant
down the middle
piece
and
of the
then
burger.
another one. So
But then you have
Oh, is it
two
like a peace
pieces.
sign?
yeah, like
Oh, yeah,
peace,
like-
I'm
like
sorry.
peace sign.
Oh yeah, it would be like a
Yeah.
piece. Sign.
Right? Because it would be like,
Well, you can
All right,
do.
we spent enough time on this.
sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Dior, Clarice obviously gives this speech about how a second chance can change your fate and how you're seen. With this being her first quest and the fact that she's a young female leader leading an army full of men, what do you think this says about what type of leader she wants to be?
You know what? I'm so glad you asked this question and you asked it in the way that you did. When it comes to what it shows about her and the type of leader she is, it's more about what happens before the speech. I think she's in this position where she got on the ship and was like, I'm going to lead like my father. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's how I'm going to get the glory. That's how I'm going to, succeed and make my family proud. And then she tries and it really backfires very, very hard. And she has this moment where she makes a switch and she can choose to either, allow this to eat her alive and die at sea or, try to be like her dad and fail. Or she could really just say, you know what, whatever, and just go for something different and finally trust her instincts actually for once because she has nothing left to lose anymore. So I think it's less about what it says about her as a female leader because we don't know that yet at that point, but it's more so about the fact that she's decided to finally trust herself and that sparks everything that we're going to come to learn about her.
I love it. Thank you all so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Hi, Rick. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm good. Sophia Soto with the Nerds of Color, and what a privilege it is to be talking to you today. I mean, I grew up with these books, and the show is just phenomenal. I'm so
Thank you.
excited.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me. And so obviously the fan response for season one was just absolutely incredible. There was so much anticipation going into season two. So I wanted to ask, what has it been like to see their reactions to the trailers and all of that, kind of picking apart certain scenes, making guesses of what they think it's going to be or what's coming? What is that like for you?
Well, from the Percy fandom, I would expect no less. They're very invested, they're very enthusiastic, and I'm grateful for that. It's fantastic to see. I'm so glad that that season one was received the way it was, and I had been saying this for a while now, but at the risk of going out on a limb, season two is even better. I think if you like season one, you're in for a real treat with season two.
Yeah, well, I've gotten to see a few episodes and I kind
Okay.
of I am on board with that and I'm eagerly on
Okay,
the edge
cool.
of my seat waiting for the rest. So
Excellent. Great.
one thing I want to ask you is obviously the books are told from Percy's point of view. So which other storyline are you kind of being most excited to expand on and add scenes to for this season? Because you get to kind
Yeah.
of so much more.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges, but also one of the great opportunities of adapting this series into TV is that you do get to jump away from his POV and see what's going on with either characters. One of the best ones, I think, are the flashback scenes with Thalia and Luke and young Annabeth, who is just so adorable. I just love that actress. And those scenes are great. And they, even though they're mentioned in the book, they play so much more powerfully when you see them first person with them on the screen. Another one that I'm really fond of, you probably haven't seen this episode yet, but there's a great moment where Grover and Clarice are thrown together and they have to try to work together. And they're like total opposites. You wouldn't think they would have anything to say to each other, but that scene is hilarious and it's so good. So just the little things like that, that yes, it's the same story, but told from a slightly different angle. And I think that's going to work for the viewers as a whole, but especially for the book fans.
I actually want to go off of what you just said because that's one of my favorite things about shows is all the different character dynamics and relationships that you can mix together.
Sure.
With that being said, is there a dynamic or a character relationship in the future that you would like to explore that wasn't necessarily in the books, but you think would be really fun to throw together for a scene?
Oh gosh, I mean, I think you could just pick any two characters and throw them together, and that would be interesting to me. I would love to see that done. Which ones that might be at what point, I don't know. I mean, I can tell you that there are already some happening in season 3. I can't spoil too much, but you're going to see more of the characters, along with our new friends Nico and Bianca D'Angelo, who are incredible actors too, and just the dynamics of all of them is really, really fun to see.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And which moment were you personally most intrigued to revisit and see these talented actors who seriously, like, I can't say it enough, they're so talented, so incredible
They
bringing these
are.
characters
They
to
are.
life. So it's literally like they jumped off the page, but
Yeah,
why
they're
did that
great.
moment stand out to you, and why was it one that you were really excited to revisit in terms of that and seeing it brought to life?
Sure, it was probably be the Sirens scene from the Sea of Monsters. It's one that has become kind of a touchstone for the fandom, among readers especially. And I knew that we'd have a lot of eyes on that scene. Everybody would be looking at that as sort of a benchmark of, okay, how faithful is it going to be? Are we going to get what we're expecting? And so we had a lot of conversations about that. How do we do this? Do we need to sort of refresh it from what's in the book? How can we sort of make it new and interesting while at the same time being faithful? And so I hope that fans are going to be really pleased with that. Is it a word for word transliteration? No, but the spirit is the same, and I think it's very powerful.
First of all, so excited for that scene in particular, and I know the fans are as well. But going off of that, do you have conversations with the actors in terms of maybe things they want to include in specific scenes or things they are feeling for their characters, especially since they are so familiar with the books? Do you have those
Yeah.
conversations with them?
Not normally directly. Honestly, I don't need to. I mean, they are so good and so prepared. The show, I mean, rides on our young actors. I mean, it is their show. And so I think, honestly, they know their characters better than I do at this point. So I'm not going to say, hey, maybe you should try this. That said, they have a lot of support and input. We have great directors. They have an acting coach that has been with them as a team from the very beginning of the show, and has gotten to see all this beautiful growth and the expression that they're bringing to the characters and how mature they're getting. So at this point, they have ownership of these characters, and I couldn't be happier.
Rick, thank you so much for your time, genuinely, and
Yeah.
congratulations on season 2. And I'm here eagerly waiting for season 3.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Comics, movies, and TV, yeah. Pop culture with a different perspective. Watch it on your screen, hit play, so check this. This is the hard knock life, but not the chica kind. More like the people in the world seeking perspectives with a different life. The kids who share the interest together with a similar kind. When they said John Glover for Spider-Man, they didn't mind. The activists